Hi, this is Patrick Kilpatrick, and you're listening to Rocking at the Movies with Shane Comley-White.
It's time for Rocking at the Movies Movie Quiz. So the way it works is the game is called the Champion Ladder. Obviously, martial arts champion, and whoever can get up to the top stays in the top until someone knocks you down. You know how it goes. And it's just a new game that is being played on the radio that I've got. I've got a radio show, and we do it on there, and people try beat that. So I've got 10 quotes. I'm adding one more just for a bit of fun, okay? And if you can get the quotes, then obviously we add on those numbers, and I'll tally up the numbers at the end of the show. Okay. So I'll give you some clues. Try your best, do whatever else it is, and see how you go. First movie, 1998. That's when it is set. The quote is, "He better be worth it. He better go home and cure a disease or invent a longer-lasting light bulb."
Saving Private Ryan.
Wow, okay, that is actually incredible because a lot of people can't get that. Brilliant. Next one, 1976. Yo, Adrian.
Rocky.
Incredible. Okay. Next, 1986. This one's an easy one. You'll get this. If you don't get this, you need to go watch this movie again. I feel the need for speed.
I feel the need for speed. Well, it's not Speed, is it?
No, definitely not Speed.
I feel the need for speed. That one I don't know.
Really?
What is it?
I can give you a little bit of a clue. It's set on a tarmac.
What?
They do that line, the two characters, they do it on a tarmac.
Tarmac, so it means it's a hijacking or something like that. Tarmac. Anyway, I feel the need for speed. I don't know. Death Race 2000? I don't know. Death Race what? What is it?
No, Top Gun.
Okay. You know, I just saw the first Top Gun for the first time in my entire life.
Oh, really?
But, I should have gotten that, though. I saw it not long ago, but I didn't see it when it first came out.
Really? Any reason why? Or is it just because you didn't get a chance to?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Just one of those.
I don't think it was intentional or anything. I love Tom, having worked with him on Minority Report, but it's just one that went by me. It may have, to my taste at that time, it may have been overly bombastic, you know, just kind of like overblown and stuff like that. But I love the new one too.
You've seen the new one, eh?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and I just thought, what a great service he's done for us, because, you know, there's a lot of things that knock down America and things like that, and I think that it was a really good piece.
Yeah, it's a brilliant movie. I love those two as well.
Yeah, his speech in front was a great strategic thing too, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, moving on to the next one.
Two out of three.
2 out of 3. Brilliant. Okay, the next one is a 2000 movie. Okay.
Yeah.
The quote is, "Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back."
Well, it's very close to one of my greatest quoted films, Ombre, but it's not the same thing. I don't know it. What is it?
Gladiator.
Okay, yeah.
Brilliant.
I would have remembered from that, red is a lucky color. You're going to need a lucky color, from Ralph Mueller's lines in that. Okay. But the quote that I want to give you from Ombre,
yes.
Which, by the way, have you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't. I must actually go watch it.
Oh my God, it's such a great movie. It's written by Elmore Leonard, and the dialogue in the movie is awesome. It's Paul Newman. It's right up there with one of my favorite movies. But the dialogue has, like, it has stuff like, Mister, you put 2 bullets in me. That's enough for most. Or, Mister, you got some hard bark coming down here like that. It's just a great movie. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's an odd Western, and it's really a good movie.
I'll definitely go and watch it soon.
Ombre.
Ombre.
Richard Boone is one of the great bad guys of all time. Paul Newman's awesome. Everybody in the movie is really good.
Really? No, I'll definitely go watch that.
Okay, so I'm batting 500. That's not bad for baseball, but
not too bad. Not too bad. All right, next one. 1975. Okay, so you're going back a little bit. You're going to need a bigger boat.
Well, that's from Jaws, of course.
Of course.
It's like asking, can you breathe?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Okay, moving on to the next one. 1968. Okay. Open the pod bay doors, Hull.
Open. What year is it?
1968.
Oh, that would be Space Odyssey.
Well done.
Yeah.
4 for 2. Okay. Next, we've got 4 more to go. All right.
Yeah.
The last one's a bit of a bonus round, just for fun. Let's see if you can
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6.
Right?
That's
4
it.
out of 6.
Okay, so 1980. This one you should get. Everyone knows this one. I hope that you do as well. Here's Johnny.
What?
Here's Johnny.
Oh, that's The Shining. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. 2001. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing else matters.
2001. Quarter mile at a time. That implies drag strip stuff.
You on the right path?
Drag movie. What was a drag strip movie in 2000? What year was it?
2001. So let me read it again. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing else matters.
Yeah. I can't remember a drag strip movie in 2001. But would that be American Graffiti?
No.
Well, that had something to do with racing.
So this one's had, I think, about 9 or 10 movies in its entire, if you want to call it that, franchise. It's a big franchise.
Oh, Fast and Furious, then.
There we go. Gave that one away.
By the way, none of which have I seen.
Really?
Not one.
Do you like racing movies or not necessarily?
Yeah, I think maybe I saw Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
A little.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more of a Saving Private Ryan 300 Braveheart guy than I am these huge franchises that are over the top. By the way, did you see The Gray Man, by the way?
Yes, I did.
I mean, Gray Man makes Bourne Supremacy look like a low-budget movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so completely over the top.
Yeah.
Good. Really good.
But over the top.
But completely over the top. Oh, my God. Good bad guy in that, too. Was it Chris Evans? Is that his name?
I must actually go. I'm quite bad with names unless I do the research just before I watch the movie.
The banter was pretty great in that one.
Look, it was a good movie, but like you say, I prefer, my favorite movie is Braveheart. It is the ultimate movie for me, in my view.
You know, it's funny. My son, who's 25, it's his favorite movie too.
Okay.
You know, I would say right that up with that would be Spartacus, the original Spartacus too.
Yeah.
You know, and the TV series, which was excellent and relatively historically correct, but that sort of slave, that fight for freedom modality is a great one.
It definitely is, and same thing with Saving Private Ryan. It's real, and I I think the biggest thing with us today in our life now is we don't have a purpose when it comes to like World War One, World War Two, or even in the past, where people used to fight for their life, literally. We don't do that anymore. Everything's just so easy, and it's sad in a way, you know.
Well, give it some time.
I know. That's also what I'm worried about. It is what it is. Okay, 2 more.
So what is it? What are we at? 7. How many did I get so far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 so far.
Okay.
2 wrong, 6
okay.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
2 more to go. This one is quite easy. It's 1992. I was actually shocked about the era when it came out. And the quote is, "The day you stop looking, Charlie, is the day we die."
Day we stop looking, Charlie.
I wish I could do his accent, but I can't.
It almost sounds like a Jack Nicholson movie. But Charlie.
No.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Have you seen Scent of a Woman?
Oh yeah, sure, but about all I remember is ooh-ha or ooh-ha.
It's always like yoo-ha.
Yeah.
So that was when they were going to do that dance.
What?
Yeah, that was when they were going to do that dance, the tango.
Yeah,
And they were looking at the ladies in the restaurant. Brilliant movie.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. This one might be a little bit difficult for some.
You avoid all the obvious ones, though.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, the obvious movies which guys are constantly doing are Goodfellas, Heat. Heat is another one. Casino. What are the other great quoted movies? I think those are probably big 3.
A Few Good Men, maybe.
What?
A Few Good Men. This is also a good one.
Yeah,
Godfather. Always use those.
Godfather, of course. Yeah.
The thing is, I've watched hundreds of movies. If you see our DVD collection downstairs that we've got, it's just tons. All right, so the next one, many people will not get this. Okay. You should. Okay, it is as follows. I told Gus smoking would kill him.
I told who?
Gus. Smoking will kill him.
I told Gus. I told Gus smoking would kill him. I haven't got a clue. The only Gus I can think of is Gus Van Sant.
Really?
Yeah. I told Gus. What movie is that? Is it
I'm
a
going to
horror?
shock you. No, I'm going to shock you. Best of the Best 2. When you're sitting in the helicopter and they light the fire to blow up the building.
Yeah, I didn't remember that one. No.
I've always remembered that. It's something that stood out exactly the same as when.
Batting 600. That's not too bad. Batting 600.
Yeah, not bad at all. Well done. That one was just a chance one. I just wanted to see if you remembered your own lines.
Yeah, I sometimes do, but they're the ones that get repeated to me often are like Death Warrant.
Yeah.
You know, time to Bleed, and Welcome to Hell, which, by the way, I wrote all.
Really?
I improv'd all of those lines. I don't think I had any lines in Death Warrant when I first started. And I only had 10 to begin with, but
incredible.
Yeah, so I made most of those up.
That's absolutely incredible to be able to improv those lines and have them stay in the movie itself. It's an achievement, isn't it?
You know, a lot of times, Shane, I get hired because the directors know I'll improv. I can improv well. In fact, I joke around and say I deserve a script writing credit for most of the things you do. It's a great facility for an actor to know how to improv really well, because particularly in the beginning when you're doing movies that maybe are not particularly well realized script-wise, to be able to, like you said, Best of the Best 2, Bob Radler used to, whenever we worked together, he loved it because I could come up with a line. A lot of it comes from reading and having better writing. So, you read a book that's memorable and you remember the lines.
Yeah.
I've got a book for you. Tell me, who said this? Adversity introduces a man to himself.
Okay, so now you're going to be asking me questions that I have very little knowledge of when it comes to.
There's no way. But it's a brilliant book. It's called Reluctant Warrior.
Okay.
And it has, each chapter has a quote. And it's a great book for an actor to read because you can pull those quotes and stick movies. It helps to be able to do that. Like Billy Bob Thornton, when he first was starting out, I could tell he was a writer because he had the best lines in not so very good movies. So, I said, that guy's a writer. He comes up with lines.
But
another guy with great lines is Alec Baldwin. I don't know whether it's the way he delivers them or he comes up with them. It's like if you look at a movie like Departed, he's got fantastic lines and he delivers them so well. So
that's incredible. It's amazing what background people have before they even become actors and how they can actually use that to better what they're doing. So if you're a writer or whatever else it is,
Well, like Danny Aiello was a union guy. There's a lot of police officers who've gone into acting.
All right. 2 last questions before we do end off. Would you ever change what you do? Is there any other occupation that you would have preferred doing other than acting?
It's a really good question as you get older. Not really. I think actually, this is going to sound a little crazy, but I think knowing my personality and everything, if I had given it any thought at the very beginning, I think if I'd gone into politics, look, the reason Bill Clinton became president was because early on he got the idea to become president.
Yeah.
I think if you start early enough, you can move into that realm fairly easily in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Other than maybe being president of the United States, I can't imagine doing anything else.
That's a big goal.
Well, I just think that we need better ones.
Don't go too far into the politics right now.
Better leaders. I'm reading a book right now called Our First Civil War, which is a really interesting book because the chief idea of the movie is that we in America have always been in conflict. And it's a book about the Civil War that occurred between the Loyalists, those people who wanted to stay with the British Crown, and those people who wanted to rebel. And I read about guys like George Washington, and I have such immense respect for Benjamin Franklin. You're talking about just a supreme genius in a multitude of fields. So those are the type of leaders that I think countries need, that were not selfless, because they weren't selfless, they were very successful people, but that had vision and were willing to commit to public service in a way that wasn't just about getting wealthy or just about being reelected. And I think we need more of that. We need leaders who are look, I think leadership involves self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have too much of that nowadays. And I think it's never been needed more. But anyway.
It's a worldwide thing that we're struggling with when it comes to leaders. Trust me, here in South Africa, it's a difficult one. It's very difficult.
It's a difficult one because people get corrupted and they're driven by egomania rather than public service. I like being around people and having run for office I know that I, at least after a while, was fairly well equipped for it. The biggest problem is you have to raise so much money for it now.
Yeah, I know.
And, that's challenging, and it's not something I really want to spend the last days of my life doing. But anyway, onward and upward.
All right, last question. Your fans, how can they get hold of you, and what is the best way to actually stay in touch with you and find out what you're up to?
Yeah, I'm very accessible in a way. I sometimes think too much, but I think partly that's just my nature. They can always go to Kilpatrick, PatrickKilpatrick.com.
Yeah.
They can go to my film company, which is udfilms.com.
Okay.
And there's emails there. There's Twitter. I think I'm Pat Kilpatrick. And then there's Facebook, professional and personal. There's Instagram. So all of those things, it's very readily. And I reply back to almost everything when I can. But I communicate with people and very readily through that.
Okay, brilliant.
Very, very easy to get a hold of me.
And also your agent is also...
All of that contact information is there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'll put all those links up in the description of the videos as well. So once they go up, it'll be great.
Thanks so much.
All right, Patrick, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for spending over an hour with me. It's been incredible. And I've learned a lot from you in this short span of time. And I look forward to actually taking things further and possibly working together down the line one day.
I get a sense that we're going to collaborate on something.
Here's hoping, and I'll do my best to try to see what we can do.
Well, I'll send you an email and kind of articulate. We'll set up a Zoom call and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Patrick, thank you so much again, and we'll speak to you soon.
God bless. Cheers.